So I want to share a little purchase that I made. State of the art Playpen, worth every penny. I will put a link in the description below. I'm not affiliated with this brand. I'm not getting any money from advertising this. Guys, if you've got a little one, you've got to get this Playpen. It is amazing. It has kept Evelyn busy for hours. Have a look at this.
What you got? Is this just the best place ever?
Guys, cardboard boxes rule. They're amazing. It's just this beast. Oh, big yawns. Can you build it? Can you build? Oh no. Can you build it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, what you got? What you got? Wow, it's the best. There you got. Yay! Clap hands! Yay! So clever. So clever. Okay, say bye. Bye. See you later. Bye. Welcome back to another video. This week has been crazy. I first and foremost want to apologize to everyone who's commented on the previous video or on any videos in the last week. I have not replied to any of you and I'm so sorry. It has been a hectic week with work and getting the kids ready for school again, so I am so sorry I haven't replied to your comments. I will set aside some time this weekend to sit down and reply to all of you. So with the summer holidays coming to an end, so sad. My kids are very sad. I'm not so sad. In my heart, I'm a little bit happy that I'll have my mornings back to myself. I'll have Evie with me, but it'll be nice to have a little bit of quiet time and not be constantly making food all day long. So, with the summer holidays coming to an end, I thought it might be a good idea to have a little chat about the cost of childcare in Ireland. That's just something to keep in mind when moving over here, and also for interest's sake, for anyone who was wondering about childcare in Ireland and how much it costs. I'll break it down for you now. The average cost of full-time childcare in Ireland is about €187 a week. And on average over the whole year, it works out to be about €9,340 a year. So it is quite expensive, considering that's probably a good percentage of your salary, your weekly salary, or whether you get paid weekly or monthly. Weekly salary or monthly salary would go towards childcare here in Ireland. It also depends on the area that you live in. Obviously, cities would be more expensive than outlying areas. So for example, Dublin tends to be on the more expensive side. The average cost for childcare, full-time childcare in Dublin, is around the €240 per week mark. So substantially more expensive than the national average of €187 per week. So a big factor in the price of childcare is the age of your child. If your child is under the age of 1, full-time childcare tends to be more expensive. So on average, private childcare for a child under the age of 1, you'd be looking at about €200 a week. And for a child 5 years and up would be about 180. That's in private childcare. Another option you have is to hire a nanny or an au pair. Nannies and au pairs, they also range in hourly rates. You wouldn't be paying them weekly, you'd be paying them per hour that they work. So you'd be looking at anything starting from €10 up to about €15. and that would also depend on where you are. So in Dublin, I would say you'd be paying on the higher end of the scale. And there are agencies that you can register with and people who would be able to help you in that process if you wanted to hire someone to come into your house and look after your children in home. Another option would be a childminder. So you could look for someone who looks after children in their home. That would be a bit cheaper. I think I saw on childminders.ie that people are asking on average about €5 an hour because they're in their own home looking after your child, and usually there's about 3 or 4 children in the home with your child. So that's another option, something else to look at if you are looking for childcare in Ireland. Now, obviously, you'd be very careful in choosing someone to look after your child, whether it be an au pair or someone, a childminder looking after your child in their house. You'd want to make sure that they've been Garda vetted and they have all the insurance and licenses that they're supposed to have. I'm not clear on exactly all the requirements for that, but I wouldn't just drop off my child with anyone. So I would definitely make sure that they have all the boxes ticked before leaving my child with anyone. What kind of supports does Ireland provide for parents? So one of them is the universal, let me just get it right, the universal childcare subsidy for children. So that is from, if you have a child from the age of 6 months to 2 years and 8 months, in that gap. If you have a child in that age bracket, they subsidize your childcare costs, and I believe they subsidize 50 cents per hour to a maximum of 45 hours a week, and I think that works out to be €22.50 off the weekly bill. So that is the universal childcare subsidy for children that the government does provide. So Ireland has the ECCE, which is the Early Childhood Care and Education Scheme, and you can apply for this when your child is 2 years and 8 months old. And what it is that it covers the first 3 hours per day, or basically it covers 3 hours a day for 5 days a week, and it is a universal scheme, so it's not means tested, so you don't have to worry about it counting against you if you're naturalizing like us. And I think it's wonderful. So when Evie turns 2 years and 8 months, off she goes, off to school for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. And the government looks after the payment for that, which is great. Now, Ireland also helps you out with a payment scheme called Child Benefits. And this is a universal scheme. So it doesn't depend on your income or whether you are full-time employed or not. You do have to meet some habitual residential requirements. What's the word that they used? You have to satisfy habitual residential conditions. Sorry, my words are not forming today. And those can be found on citizensinformation.ie. And basically what it is it's a payment of €140 every month per child that you have. If you have twins, you get 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. Math brain died many years ago. So 1.5. Take 2. 1.5 times the normal rate if you have twins, and if you have triplets or higher, multiple birth, you would get double the rate per child. So we found that it has helped us immensely when it comes to shoes and clothing and school books and all sorts like that. So that's been amazing for us. Your child does have to be under the age of 16. I think if they're still in full-time education and they are 16 turning 17, you can still receive the payment. The payment is made on the first Tuesday of every month. And yeah, I think it's incredible that Ireland does this for its citizens, and it's not something that we received in South Africa. and the money goes a long way in helping to take care of the children. So we are really, really happy about it, and it doesn't count against us in the naturalization process, as it is a universal payment. So yeah, it's amazing, and thank you, Ireland. It's just an incredible gift every month that we are very, very grateful for. So with the cost of childcare being so high, what we have found to be a solution to that is that James and I kind of tag team our employment. So we are both employed. James works full-time Monday to Friday from 9 to 6 p.m. and I will work in the evenings, either on the weekends, or once he gets home, I'll go do night shift. So it just makes sense for us not to put our children into childcare so we can both work at the same time, because I think basically one of us will be handing over our entire paycheck to the childcare services. So we've decided that it just is more financially beneficial for me to stay at home with the kids, look after them during the day, and if I have a shift in the evening once James is home, fantastic. But more often than not, I'll be working on the weekends when he's home, and it just works for us, and we're not having to take our children out the house. They're always... Sorry, my video cut off there for some reason. So I was just ending off by saying that's the process we've decided on, that one of us will always be at home with the kids, and it works for us. It might not work for everybody, but that's how we've made it work. And I can hear Evie is driving Josh mad downstairs. I've asked him to babysit while I make this video, because that is the only way this was going to happen. So thank you so much for watching. We so appreciate you and your comments, and I promise I'll get back to your comments either this evening or tomorrow, and I'll be in touch with all of you. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you again next week. Bye. Can you, Evie, can you clap your hands? Oh, you're a clever girl. Can you wave? Wave to mommy. No,
That's the way.
Can you wave? Wave. Bye-bye.
Honey, nod your head. Honey, nod your head.